a little harder. The most recent guy was in jail, and they said, well, we didn't investigate him, he was in jail. Well, we never even prosecuted him, which is a whole nother criminal justice issue. You don't get prosecuted for stabbing your brother. But the thing is if he had a lawyer at the time, you should have at least requested. Maybe the lawyer says you can't talk to my suspect, but someone should have asked. He gets out of jail after 3 months. He's never prosecuted. Nobody ever follows up. I think there's a lot of public information you could have looked at. I think there's no reason why you couldn't open an investigation. And the standards get much lower when the investigations are open. The standard for the FISA warrant isn't probable cause. It's relevant to an investigation. And we can argue about that standard, but that's the current standard. I just don't think we're necessarily using our tools adequately. And I think it is important to admit when we make mistakes so we can improve our technique. And I guess my question to Director Comey is it your position that no mistakes were made in each of these in judging them not to be credible threats? Would you not have done more in the gun store that Mateen came into 6 weeks before the shooting? Would you not have done more when Rahami was arrested to question him because his dad said he was a terrorist?
Thank you, Senator. Sitting before you is a deeply flawed and fallible human being who believes very strongly in admitting mistakes when they're made. I hope you saw the very painful moment when I admitted publicly we made a mistake in allowing Dylan Roof to get a gun. So as long as I'm director of the FBI, we will stare back very carefully at what we do, and where we make mistakes, we will admit them, we will be transparent, and we will get better. As you know, I hope, I commissioned a look back at our investigation of the Orlando killer, which is just being completed now, and the Inspector General is going to do another one, which is great, because if there's learning there, we're going to squeeze it for all the learning we can and get better.
But what's your opinion on the gun store? Should we have done more in the gun store?
Your facts are wrong there.
Excuse me?
Your facts are wrong there. The gun owner did not call us contemporaneously. When we were contacted and went back to the store, it was the weeks afterwards. And so the video was not available. Your facts are also wrong with respect to what the bomber in New York, who's still alive and is going to have a trial, I hope, and be sentenced to jail for the rest of his life. So I want to be careful what I say. Your facts are wrong about what his father told the FBI. But there as well, we will go back and scrub our prior contact with that matter very, very carefully, and maybe the Inspector General will as well, which would be great as well. And if there's learning, we will learn from it. We are not perfect people. We aspire to be perfect because we think that's what the American people have a right to expect, but you will find us being very candid about our shortcomings and our strengths.
With regard to length of investigations and your internal policy on having probable cause to open investigations?
Yeah, that's just wrong as well. We don't need we need probable cause to get a search warrant or to get a wiretap, and I want to correct something else you said. You need probable cause to get a FISA warrant from a FISA judge. To open our investigations, the threshold is much, much lower. We open assessments based on just tips, then we open preliminary investigations and full investigations on much, much lower thresholds, because you investigate to see if there is probable cause.
So should we keep our investigations open longer?
We should keep them open as long as the facts warrant keeping them open. And there is no restriction. As you saw in Orlando, that preliminary is normally set for 6 months, can be extended another 6 and another 6 and another 6. We have the policies and the tools, by and large, that we need to do this well, which is why we need to look back at each case and say, so what did we do? Who did we interview? What documents did we get? And how could we do this better?
But that would be the judgment call. Should we keep them open longer?
Sure, and that judgment has to be made every day by professional agents with the review of their supervisors.
Senator McCaskill.